How's it going, everybody? My name is Mark Pickles, and today I'd like to welcome you to another Destiny Exotic review. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Exotic Primary Shotgun Universal Remote. Now, this shotgun is an oddity because it's the only shotgun that can be equipped in the primary slot. Now, I like and dislike this. I like it because, you know, it allows you to have two shotguns. And now that 1.1.1 is out, shotguns are great in PvE. So I'm a big fan of using it in PvE. But that also leaves a big spot for range issues, because now you don't really have anywhere to do your mid-range and your long range, where, you know, you could equip a sniper for long range, or you could equip a fusion rifle for mid-range, but, I mean, really, it, you know, it just kinda, I don't know, just kinda keeps you kinda bound to really close quarters combat, and so that's kinda one of my big things that I don't really like about the weapon, is that it is, like I said, a primary shotgun, and so there isn't much room for leeway in the other ranges that shotguns don't really have. Now, this even becomes more apparent with the range that this weapon has. This weapon has one of the worst ranges among shotguns. It's really bad, to be completely honest. And I like this weapon, but it just, the range is horrible. It's the, like I said, it's the least out of any shotgun. It just is, it's bad. In terms of range, that is all. Now let me get into some of the good stuff. The, mag is pretty high, at 5 in the actual mag, and I think in, the, reserve, it holds 25 rounds, I think. Now, the reserve is okay for shotguns, but not good for primaries. So, you know, that just kind of brings up the same point, primary shotgun. But another good thing is that the rate of fire is very high. It's, better than Last Verdict, actually, I think, which is very good, for a lot of things, because you can fire it in full auto, and so it just automatically kind of comes with a great rate of fire. So that's one good thing. Another pretty good thing is the reload. You know, it's a bit slower than some of the other legendaries and exotics, but it's still pretty fast. As you can see here, I'll just kind of load off a round really quick, and you can see me reload in 1, 2, 3, 4, in 5 seconds, which, you know, that isn't bad. It's a lot better than, you know, a lot of other shotguns. It also has a very unique, it to me has a unique sound. It sounds kind of like Invective, where it has kind of a clunkety clunk, clunkety clunk kind of noise when you shoot it, as you can hear there. And at the end, you hear kind of like a little, almost reloading sound here. You hear that. It's very high pitched and kind of, I don't know, breezy, I guess. I don't know.
The ritual has begun.
Yeah, I know that lady. Oh shit, I forgot about this part. Now, another, thing that I like about this weapon are the perks. It has pretty good perks. The first main perk, oh my god, I forgot about these guys. The first main perk is crowd control, which I love on shotguns. I kept re-rolling my Felwinter's Lie until I got that on it, actually. So, you know, that's one thing that I like about this. I also like the second perk, Universal Remote. This perk lets you, when you zoom in, it increases your range and precision damage by, I think it's 60%. which is great because the range on this is really bad, as I said earlier. So it gives it a nice, you know, good kind of increased range that, you know, you really notice. Another good point is the damage on this weapon is pretty great. You know, I think a lot of other ones are better, but it's pretty great. I like the range on this a lot. I mean, the impact, sorry. I like the impact a lot. As you can see here, to tier 1 enemies, it does 647. It does 647s to the head on a mid-range. When you're in close range, it does 1039. And when you're at far range, it does around 400. Now, body shots, when you're up close, do, let's see here, do 268. And mid-range, let's see it here, mid-range does 270. Whoa, shit. 270, and then long range does 104. Well, now, on second tier enemies, let me get, well, on second tier enemies, I did my testing yesterday. On second tier enemies, it does around, or at close range, it does around, sorry, 600 damage. Well, no, not 600, what am I thinking? Sorry, about 200 damage per pellet. And then, from a mid-range, it does about 100 range per pellet, on body shots. And then from far range, it does about, one second. It does about, God, why can't I think of this? It does about 50. Which, you know, isn't too terribly bad. But then for headshots, on tier 2 enemies, it does 900s. On close range, for for mid-range, it does about 700s. And then for long range, it does about 700s. Which isn't too terribly bad. It's pretty good, actually, considering, you know, I just got this when Xur sold it the other day. These are just kind of my first thoughts and opinions about it. Nothing really concrete yet. I actually have done some testing on a friend's account, that, he let me use for a little while. I have done some testing with the universal remote and, what you call it, what can I think of the name? Universal remote perks. I've done some testing on those, and so that was how I was able to pull out those numbers. But so overall, I like this weapon. It definitely has a unique feel to it being a primary shotgun. It doesn't feel like anything else that you can really play with in the game. Well, it doesn't really feel like any other primary that you can play with in the game. So, you know, those have just kind of been my thoughts about universal remote. What do you guys think? Did you buy this from Xur the other day? I know that was the first time that he sold it. Which I was actually pretty excited about that. I'd wanted this for a while, and I was just now able to get it. So, you know, I was pretty psyched about that. So yeah. Oh, one more thing I wanted to bring up. The cosmetics on this weapon look pretty cool. It has kind of like a bulky, kind of, I don't know how I'd really describe it, kind of like army kind of feel to it. Like, you know, it has the square and rectangle patterns on it. It has what looks like, you know, little bits of camouflage on it. It looks pretty cool. The second perk, universal remote, though, just kind of, this isn't really like an, oh, this is bad thing. It's just kind of like it doesn't really make sense thing, you know. the perk is that if you the perk is that if you zoom, it increases your range and damage. So it sounds like a redneck just kind of threw it on there like, hey, if I put a scope on this, it makes it go farther, hit harder. So, you know, this is definitely a redneck's weapon. So, yeah, so I'll just kind of end it here with a little clip of me using Universal Remote, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. My name is Bar Pickles, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.
The crystal. Destroy it.